Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. Welcome back to the channel. Well, we have come to the second phase of the build, which is obviously I told you guys about through a couple videos, is building out the motor. So we did majority of the updates to the ST over the course of about a year now. I think it's going to be a year in August since I've had the bike. And obviously I wanted to build the bike, kind of baseline it with the, you know, the suspension, the other components, you know, the handlebars, the risers, the brakes, all that, get that all squared away before I started diving into the motor itself, because that's obviously kind of the last step. I kind of feel that if you put the motor before some of the other upgrades like suspension and brakes, you're doing a kind of disjustice to your build, if that makes sense. But you know, I think kind of the flow of where we are with the bike currently, obviously the next progression of the build is to build out the motor. So got a couple components that I've been kind of trickling on over the last couple months, getting everything prepped. Not everything is here yet. There's a couple different things that I'm still waiting for, but I would say probably 3/4 of the engine components I have ordered and stocked up on. And I wanted to kind of go over what I'm actually going to be using in the build. So the overall build that I'm going with is a 128 kit from Fuel Moto / MotorWitch. So we are using MotorWitch cylinder heads, MotorWitch cylinders. They're CNC cut. And I opted for this just because of the fact that, you know, talking with Danny and a few other guys, the cooling is probably the most important, right? So there's a drastic change in lowering the cylinder temperatures with going with CNC. Yes, obviously they cost a little bit more, and the tolerances when building the kit you have to look out for, but overall, I think I made a pretty good decision with the kit itself. I think it drops at probably like 50 degrees, to be honest, with the running with these cylinder heads. So these came with just the raw finish, the CNC finish itself. I was thinking about powder coating in black. I'm still kind of on the fence because I'm still kind of a couple weeks out before I start taking the motor apart and getting that on the bench and stripping it completely. So I'm still kind of going back and forth with either keeping it raw or powder coating it. Actually, drop some comments. Let me know what your guys' preference is. If the bike itself, I think it will look good with the raw finish, but obviously I can still powder coat in black. So I'm still kind of debating which way to go. So went with those cylinders. The gaskets all came with it from Comtech, so that all included the kit, the top head, the bottom portion, all your O-rings for the oil pump and the crank bearing and all that stuff is all included in the kit. And then we have the 128 by 4.25 by 4.5 stroke. So I went with the 11-to-1 compression. I didn't want to go too aggressive. I think the 11.1 is going to be good for, obviously, we only have 91 octane out here, and I think just running that along with that compression is going to be good longevity for the bike itself. So the other reason why I went with the 128 opposed to like a 132, obviously the higher you go up with the cc's of the motor, the thinner the cylinder liners get. And there's obviously, you know, different opinions out there, but the 124, 128 kits are probably the most reliable kits that you can go with for reliability and longevity. And for the power, right? I think with this particular kit, I'll probably be in the 150 to 155 along with torque. So, I mean, that's going to be a rocket on the ST. I think it's going to, you know, do it justice. So Stuck with the 128 just because of the fact that I was able to get the cylinder, the cylinders and CNC finish, and overall, I think just for the reliability and longevity of the bike, I shouldn't have any problems with it. We went with the coated coated pistons from Fuel Moto. So these are Corilla pistons. And they have the option to get them coated. The, what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank here. You have the option to basically coat the piston itself, and basically what that allows it to do is reduce some of the wear and tear on the piston itself, on the walls, and that helps with overall reliability. So I opted to get that option. You can do it without it. I guess there's no really much cost difference in that, so we just opted to go with that. Moving on down through the bottom portion of the motor. So actually the head, the heads itself. So I'll be going with Ward +2 heads. So I'll be actually sending my heads in to get them basically cleaned, CNC'd out, port and polished, the whole 9 yards. They have an option on that. So I was speaking with the folks over there, and they feel just based off the 88 cc chamber that they have and the cam that I'm running, that the +2 is going to be kind of the sweet spot for the build. So I'll be pulling the heads off and sending those to Ward to get them finished. I actually did opt as an option to do Fuel Moto, Zipper, and also T-Man. And to be honest, I've heard mixed reviews with Fuel Moto. I'm not knocking them, but I've heard mixed reviews with the finishing quality of Fuel Moto heads. Some people have really good experience. Some people have had, bad experience with them. So I chose not to go with Fuel Moto heads, even though that they're a little bit less price than the Ward. And between the three, the Ward, the T-Man, and the Zipper, Ward was the only company that actually responded to me in a timely manner. Basically 1 to 2 days to get back to me on my questions on my build. T-Man and Zipper, probably 2 weeks. Or not even responsive. So that kind of tells you the customer service. As I mentioned, I'm really big on customer service, because obviously if you have any problems or questions, you want folks to be responsive to you. And maybe that's just my experience. And I've sent a couple emails to those guys, and they're not responsive. So even though they make a good product, they're those two other companies are, all three companies are, top notch for head work. So I decided to go with Ward just because of them responding back to me, and given the direction of the build, I felt that was the best way to go. So we'll be keeping we'll be sending out the heads. We'll be keeping the 65 millimeter throttle body. So I kind of mentioned I provisioned this bike to basically still utilize some of the components on the build. So we're keeping the 65 millimeter body from HPI. We're keeping the 6.5 injectors that are in there, so I don't have to worry about that. The cam itself, so right now I have the 22XD Woods cam in there, so I'll be pulling that out and going with the Woods 408X. I opted for this one because this is a real ripper. I think with the overall build, it's going to be good in the low to mid range, and it's going to sound really good. And this particular cam has pretty good off the line capabilities. So if you're running around with your friends, from one point to the other, this bike should be, flying off the line. So I'm really excited to run this cam. Heard nothing but good things on it. So we'll do this cam. As far as the oil pump goes, so I'm going to reuse the SNS oil pump that's in the bike now. Just clean that up, make sure that there's no issues with it. Just do it a once over. I think it should be good. I don't see that being a problem. So the kit came with lifters and also push rods. So we'll be swapping out the lifter. So I have SNS lifters in there. I'm going with, again, SNS lifters. I'm sure they're fine, but obviously since you're building your motor, I would probably recommend buying new lifters as cheap insurance. And then the Quickie push rods from Moto. I might keep the SNS push rods that I have in there. Still not sure. I'll look at them, see if there's any wear on them. But most likely I'll just swap that out and just, give it all brand new stuff in there. So that, like I mentioned, the only thing that we're keeping in the bottom end is the SNS oil pump. And then I'm also doing the jet kit piston cooling, because supposedly on the M8s there's some issues with the cooling, with the oil squirting into the pistons. So I went with this kit as well. So this should be a good addition to that. Regarding the crank itself, so once I disassemble the motor, I'm actually going to have the crank balance intrude. Naylor Performance here in Phoenix does a really good job. I'm also thinking about A1 back east. I'm still, there's some added cost to shipping your crank over there, but they do really good work. But RJ here at Naylor is a really good dude. He just knows his stuff. Have heard nothing but good things as well from getting cranks trued and balanced. So I'll probably just go local here, keep the money here in the state, and support the local guys. So that crank is getting trued and balanced on that. So we'll be utilizing the stock pistons because they're good up to 200 plus. I'm not going to worry about putting any kind of high-end piston, or any rods in there. Sorry, pistons. We're going to keep the rods in there as a stock because they're, like I said, they're good up to 200 horsepower or so. So I don't have to worry about that. We'll just pull all that out, put all fresh bearings in there, get everything dialed in, and then put it all back together. So that's going to be the bottom end on it. You can see also the breather kit itself. I'm going with an SNS breather kit for the head. So once I get the heads back from Ward, I'll be popping those in. And then one other component that's not in here is the Guardian kit from SNS for the M8. It's been out of stock for a while. I think it just came back in stock, so I'll be ordering that. So we'll be replacing the rocker arms and doing new studs, getting that all dialed in. So that's going to be all fresh because of the higher spring capacity on the heads that they come with. I wanted to get the Guardian kit just to make sure that's kind of bulletproof. And then the cuffs for the lifter. So I have the SNS aluminum ones. So Fueling came out with their, basically, it's high impact, I don't know, kind of like a plastic, right? Lifter cuffs. So I'm going to be using these. Supposedly the wear on the lifters themselves don't get too abrasive and scorched. So we'll be using these. They're only like $55. So that's a pretty good deal. So I'm going to try these out on the build and pull the aluminum ones off. I'll actually see how they look like, just to see if there was any wear from the lifters hitting the cuffs itself on the aluminum. Hopefully not, but who knows. And now I'll be utilizing the push rod covers, the black ones. So we'll be utilizing that stuff. So those are easy to retain. As far as like the engine itself, I think those are the main components. We'll be keeping the HPI pipe and probably dressing up the motor with Bamco bolts. So since I'm going to have the motor apart, I'll probably just get all that dialed in and stuff and make it look all pretty. Moving over to the clutch side. So I did decide to go with the Baker drivetrain compensator. So I was talking back and forth with Danny. He recommended this particular setup, the Baker compensator, and I'm going with the Evolution clutch. So we are going with a full clutch, and this particular company, Evolution, they sell you basically, it's like a plug and play kit. So everything comes with the sprockets, the clutch pack assembly, everything. You just need to basically take it all apart and then put it back together again when you put it back to the bike. So these particular setup, the compensator and the Evolution clutch is what I decided to go with. So I shouldn't have to worry about any kind of issues with the clutch not holding on the power. Obviously, you know, the stock clutch has some weak points in it. I do have a pressure plate on it now, which obviously would help, but I think long term that the stock clutch and the ramp rail would, you know, be sacrificed with given the horsepower. So we'll kind of do 2 steps, you know, build a motor and then also get the clutch side. The good thing about the compensator, it's all you know, integrated. So it comes with its ramp. You don't have to worry about any kind of issues with it, you know, overloading the chain drive at all. Everything works pretty much how it should to alleviate any kind of, you know, sharp, you know, tension on the chain itself when you're going off the line. So that was the other reason why I decided to go with the Baker Drivetrain compensator, stock tooth, 34 tooth on that, and the Evolution clutch itself is a 46 tooth stock ratio on it as well. So I think that's it for the most part. Again, I'm just waiting for a couple more components, the Guardian kit, which I'll order here shortly, and start taking this motor apart. So this will probably be down for a good couple, probably months, because the other thing that I'm doing is I'm sending the tins off to paint. So we're gonna change it up a little bit with the bike. It is going to be painted. So that's going to become, I don't want to disclose who's going to be painting it. Really, really good dude. All I can say, he's based out of Canada. So if you might know who I'm talking about, you guys know his work. So I'm definitely looking forward to having the bike painted by this guy. So, you know, during the bike being down and pulling the motor out, I'm going to be sending off the tins and getting everything painted, and I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised with the direction of it. So anyways, more to come on the build. I just wanted to give you guys an update, kind of the next steps to the ST build. Since obviously I got another bike, I'll probably be riding that when I can during the summer when it's not too hot. But probably middle of June I'll be sending it out. So I would probably figure paint's going to probably take a good, you know, 2 months at least. So I would probably say sometime in August I'll definitely have the motor and a couple more videos back up by then, because I'll be building the motor out. But for the tins, you know, probably August or sometime, that's what I'm shooting for, to get that back. So a bike will be down for a couple months, but we really don't ride here in Arizona right now because it's so damn hot. So I'll be looking forward to getting my hands dirty and working on the bike while I can. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Was a short one today, but kind of giving you, you know, an update on what's coming with the build. And yeah, drop me a line, drop me a comment, hit that like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next one.